Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, and welcome to our Hobby Live workshop for this afternoon entitled Design Thinking for Changemakers. So, before we start off with our Hobby Live workshop for this afternoon, we would like to welcome all our changemakers around the Philippines, around Southeast Asia, around Asia Pacific, and we are very excited to collaborate with you in this very important endeavor on understanding how we can use design thinking for change making. But before we proceed in our afternoon activities, we'd like to request everyone to please change your names in the Zoom, your profile names in the Zoom using this Zoom naming convention. So please put your nickname and then your pronouns and then your organization. So we acknowledge that most of us are leaders, youth leaders from different parts of the country, from different parts of Asia Pacific. So please put your specific organization and your names and your preferred pronouns so we could properly address you for the rest of the duration of our workshop. And also, as a reminder, we are also recording the session. So I hope you consent the press the consent button of the recording of this Zoom meeting. And at the same time, we are now live at Havi Education Lab Facebook page. So if you can also share the Facebook link of our live feed from our Havi Education Lab Facebook page, so you can reach more of your peers, of your friends who couldn't join us in this Zoom meeting. So just a few reminders before we start off. In Habi, we have this what we call norms that we usually remind our participants before we start the learning experience. So first and foremost, we'd like to request everyone to mute yourselves during the plenary so we can avoid unnecessary noises or some noises during the sharing of the different parts of the activities. And then another reminder is have your pen and paper ready for today because we will be having some writing activities that wherein you will need to write down some notes and then put it in a piece of paper. We'll also do some sketching later on. And then please ask questions and engage in the chat. So we would love to hear from you. You can type your questions or your comments in the Zoom chat and we will be engaging with them, our chat master later on. And then fourth reminder is be respectful towards everyone. So we are gathered here today, different walks of life, different contexts, different backgrounds, different countries, probably different ages. But we would like to request everyone to respect the opinions of the other participants, respect those who are sharing their thoughts in the Zoom chat or sharing during the plenary. And then the fifth one is please share your learnings with the group. We would like to hear from you. You could unmute later on your microphone or you could share your thoughts in the Zoom chat. And then later on, we'll be introducing some tech tools wherein you can share your comments or share your workshop outputs in these activities. And then last but not the least, we would like to engage everyone to please trust the process. So in Habi, we would like to engage everyone to let us trust the whole process of this learning experience and enjoy and open up ourselves to the possibilities we would but the things we can learn from this learning experience this afternoon. So with that, just a few reminders, setting up our agenda for our change makers. So we'll be having an overview for 10 minutes. So we are starting the overview now. And then afterwards, we'll be doing a designing a good day exercise. And then after that, we'll be doing an introduction to design thinking. And then we'll be having a 5-minute break before 5 p.m. And then by 5 p.m., we'll be resuming our session with a checkup. And then we'll be sharing some tools and mindsets that you could use in terms of using design thinking as a problem solving strategy. And then we'll be having a synthesis and closing. And hopefully, we could end on time by 5:30 in the afternoon. And before we formally start our activity, we usually start with check-in. And check-in is a way for us to sense how are you coming to this activity, how are your disposition, what's your mood, what's your current state right now coming into this Hobby Live workshop. So for our check-in, we will asking you a check-in prompt, and we would like to put your answers in the Zoom chat. Okay. So our question is for you as a young change maker, who is a change maker? So if you would describe briefly in a few words or a few phrases, what is a change maker or who is a change maker for you as a youth leader, as a young professional coming from different walks of life? So what is for you? How would you describe a change maker? So invitation for all of us to put your answers in the chat. Yeah. So meron ng isang sumagot. There's one answer from Za. someone who is inclusive and open for growth. Thank you very much. So please keep your check-in coming in our Zoom chat. Let me ask my teammates, Chess, for you, what is a change maker? How would you describe a change maker?
Hi, Luigi. A change maker is someone who senses the environment and then acts on it.
All right, thank you. For me, a change maker is open to possibilities, someone who is open to possibilities. So let's check briefly the answers of our young change makers in this Hobby Live workshop. Some of them are saying that a change maker is an innovator, someone who inspires others and helps them to improve, someone who educates people for the common cause. I'm a change maker. All of us can be change makers, an innovative individual taking creative action, someone who is a role model. That's very nice. And someone who can contribute an innovation and improvement on system. So thank you very much for your check-in. So please keep your check-in coming. We'll be documenting all of your answers and we'll be using all your check-in answers to drive our discussion for this afternoon. So to continue, yes, we are all change makers. I think the most beautiful answer we could get from this check-in question. Indeed, we are change maker, and the fact that we are here at this very moment, we are embracing and accepting that role as a change maker. So, just to start off, after introducing each other via check-in prompt, no, we just like to introduce our organization, Happy Education Lab. So, Happy Education Lab is a research and design firm based on uh, in Manila, and we are aiming to design well-designed learning experiences for everyone, from preschoolers to professionals. So we did a lot of projects, workshops, learning materials, guidebook, playbook with different partners across the country and some international organizations as well. And to start off, we would like to introduce our team, our Hobby Live team, who would be join you in this learning experience for this afternoon. So I'm gonna start off. I'm Luigi, and I am an learning experience designer, a higher ed teacher, was interested in using design thinking for change making and for research. So let me introduce you my teammates. Chess, would you like to say hi?
Hello, good afternoon to all of us. Chess, also a change maker, passionate about family, safe spaces, and sports and women development.
Thank you very much, Chess. Can we hear from Ola?
Hi everyone, I'm Ola. I'm a learning experience designer here at Happy, but I also help nonprofit organizations and social enterprises in telling their stories and raising funds for them. Nice to see
Thank you
you.
very much, Ola. And also we have Lacey, but I guess Lacey cannot unmute right now. So, but Lacey is also one of our habit change makers, and she is very passionate about education as well. And she is also a professional teacher before joining Habi. So with that, we are your Habi Live team this afternoon, and we are very much excited to share this very exciting learning experience with you, DT as for change makers. But we also have our partner for this afternoon. So Habi is not alone in this endeavor for this afternoon. We also have a partner, and we would like to ask Vandal Corpus, to introduce our partner organizations.
Yeah, thank you so much, Luigi, and thank you so much, Habi Education Lab, for accepting our partnership with you. We are very glad that you partnered with us in making this event into a reality. I have been a product of Habi since 2017. I joined their first workshop and I fell in love with the concept of design thinking. And it's been my passion to utilize it in my daily lives, in my teaching life when I was a teacher, and right now working in a startup ecosystem, which we have been using design thinking so much. And I found it also very useful for you, future youth who can deliver projects and initiatives in your respective communities and adhering the design thinking principles in developing these projects. And we are organizing right now the Youth for the Goals Summit in celebration of the International Youth Day together with the National Youth Commission, JCI Davao Golf, and the 10 outstanding students of the Philippines Alumni Community Caballeros in the region too. This year, we would like to mainstream your voices, the Filipino youth, and how we're going to create meaningful and universal impact, especially right now during the pandemic. And we're very much excited to have you on board. We have prepared different activities for you, and we are kick-offing these activities through this design thinking workshop by Habi Education Lab, so that we're going to frame our mindset with something that can be applicable in our personal lives, in our projects, and even in our work life. And with that, hopefully you're going to enjoy this session and learn something. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. If you haven't registered with all the events, check lu.my/join-y4gs. And let's go back to Luigi. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Van, for that very comprehensive introduction of this event. So we are partnering with Van and then Youth for Goals Summit in this Happy Life workshop in celebration of the International Youth Day. So that's why we are framing this event as a DT for Young Change Makers. So to continue, just to briefly introduce our learning goals for today. So first, we are expecting to know the basics, no, the processes, mindsets, and tools of design thinking as a problem-solving strategy. To apply design thinking as a creative problem-solving tool to real-world challenges, and lastly, to feel motivated to try using design thinking to solve real-world problems. And before we start our kick off our Hobby Live workshop, DT for Change Makers, we would like to introduce to you our parking lot of curiosity. So we would expect that some of you have already have burning questions, or you already have some of your curiosities or some clarification that you would like to ask to Hobby Live. We would like to ask everyone to please use this Padlet board. So it's our parking lot of curiosities. So please use this Padlet board to park your questions, and then later on we will try to visit this Padlet board and answer as much as possible, as many questions as we can, so we can also help you clear up your curiosities in this Happy Life workshop, DT for Change Makers. So okay, I think our chat master also posted the link in the Zoom chat and in the Facebook live. So thank you very much. So please place your questions there, and we will be looking at them later on. So now I would like to call on our young change maker, Chess, to help us understand what are we going to do next with this trust design workshop. Chess?
Hello there. Good afternoon to all of us. Again, thank you for joining our design thinking workshop for change makers. Yan. So let me just start sharing our screen for our activity. Yan. Please let me know if you can see now the screen. Yan, sige. All right. So as mentioned, this activity is what we call, this activity will be our intro to design thinking. Okay. So since the before the pandemic, this is one of our favorite activities that we do to introduce design thinking. And we know that this would be so much better if we do it face to face, but we made some adjustments so that we can still bring this experience even in the virtual setting. So this is what we call the Rush Designers Workshops. Yeah. So this is for you, our change makers. So our invitation for everyone as we prepare for the activity, kindly get the following. So a piece of paper where we can write our thoughts and ideas, and then our markers. And very important is our listening ears for our activity. Yeah. So please let us know if we're ready with our activities and if we're ready for our Rush Design workshop by typing G or giving us a thumbs up here in our Zoom room. And also those joining on it in Facebook Live, please feel free to join us as well. So please let us know. I think the chats are coming in. Let's see. Let's give ourselves a few more minutes. All right, we're G. Yes. If we were together face to face right now, I'll be asking change and you will be shouting makers and our energy will be felt across the room. Yeah. So let's see. Okay. All right. Sige. I think we're ready. Sige. Okay. So let's begin our activity with this. We know that it's been a year, we've been here experiencing this pandemic and the COVID-19, which really changed our lives. And we know it's been challenging for all of us in different contexts. So this is our invitation to you, our change makers. Let's try to design a good day in a pandemic. Yan. So we'll be inviting everyone to design and think of a good day in the pandemic. We can share our thoughts and ideas in the chat. Let's give ourselves a minute to think. Design a good day in a pandemic. Let's see. Ano na kayang itsura ng good day in the pandemic now? So let's see. Open invitation to everyone, also those in our Facebook Live. Feel free to send comments in the room. Let's design a good day in the pandemic. Yan, sige, let's see. Some of our participants and change makers are now sharing their ideas here in the chat. A good day, Netflix and chill with pizza. All right. Hmm. Others are saying dancing to BTS. So we have armies here. Yes. Hmm. One of our participants mentioned stable internet connection +1. Another one's low COVID cases. Agree. All right. Coming, inviting also everyone to take a look at the chat box as well to see the responses of our co-change makers. Yan. Closer family ties, board games, workout, and coffee. Nice. Good day in the pandemics is 0 email and 9 a.m. waking time. Nice. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on a good day in the pandemic. Sige, let's see. So we can see now in our responses that we have different conceptions on what a good day is. Or our next slide pala is showing another space that we can use to interact with each other. So since we're in the online space, you can also share your thoughts here in our Padlet board. Yan. So other than the chat, we're giving options to everyone. We can also engage through our Padlet board. So this is another option for us. Thank you for sharing the link. All right. Sige. So we really see that there are different conceptions on what a good day is for us. So I have a question for us here. To whom did you design the good day for? Yan. When you thought about a good day, were you thinking of a specific person to design the good day for? Yan. So tanong natin, yung unang sumagot I think was Luigi. Yan, the Netflix and chill. Can I ask Luigi, to whom did you, sinong inisip mo nun? Para kanino yung Netflix and chill na good day? Yun.
When I was thinking of this answer, I was referring to myself. Like a good day for
Mm.
me would be like with the next Netflix and chill and pizza. So it's for myself.
Thanks, Luigi. So for myself. Also, si Arch mentioned here, for myself. Can we know in the chat who designed the good day for themselves? Yan. So sila yung inisip nila when they designed the good day. Can you type 1 in the chat? Yan. Okay. How about Mike mentioned for everyone? Yan, interesting. Sino naman sa atin yung design the good day for another person in mind or specific group of people or communities in mind? Can we also know? Okay. Please put it in the chat box. Yan. Okay. For me and all my students, for my clients, for my family members. Nice. So this one, we can see that as change makers, this is one very important question that we can offer and ask ourselves. To whom are we designing for? Yan. Para kanino? If we're familiar with the commercial, yan. Para kanino ka bumabangon? For whom are we designing this change making or our innovation? And as mentioned kanina, this workshop is really for change makers. And we saw in your check-ins that something common to all of us is that desire to make a positive impact in our communities. So our invitation for this design thinking workshop and this Rush Designers workshop is to design a good day in the pandemic for another person. Think of another person that we will design a good day for. Yeah. So ito yung perspective that we will be using in this activity. We'll be designing for another person. Yeah. If we're in face-to-face, would like to group you together actually and pair up. But given our current context, we have volunteers for our next activity. Yan. So let me call on our volunteer pair for this activity, Luigi and Ola.
Hello
Can you say
everyone. Hello
hi?
change
Hello.
makers.
Yeah. Thank you. So ang ating volunteer pair, Luigi is our volunteer and then Ola will be our volunteer designer. And for all of our co-change makers here in the Zoom room and also in Facebook, we are also going to design a good day for Luigi. Yan. So ito, tingnan natin how we will be doing this together. Sige. So this again is our invitation. As change makers, we design with the community in mind. So we will be designing for Luigi and the people that Luigi can actually represent in our activity. Yan, sige. Pakilala natin si Luigi a bit. As a profile, Luigi is a young professional, 3 years already, and already had his master's in his mid-20s. Luigi is also a teacher, so kaway-kaway po sa mga kapwa teachers. He's also a learning experience designer and currently lives in Laguna. And tama ba, Luigi, Laguna is also in ECQ right now?
Yes, ECQ
Okay,
din.
so
Yeah.
this is a brief profile on Luigi. Yan, so mas kilala na natin siya. Let's see. Okay, so for everyone, we invite you to listen, engage as well in the chat, and use the Padlet board actually for our notes. So Ola will be, parang si Ola yung avatar natin, will be following Ola throughout the activity. So our first one is to get to know Luigi better beyond his profile. So let's give the floor to Ola to get to know Luigi. And then I'll start the timer for 3 minutes. Okay, go, Ola.
Hi,
Hi,
Luigi.
Ola.
Okay, my first question would be, if you can tell me how a typical day looks like for you during a weekday.
Yeah, during a weekday, I usually wake up around 8:30 in the morning and starting off my day with a coffee because I'm a coffee lover. I usually love to start my day with a coffee. It's like an energy booster for me. And but before that, I also remember that I also have a cat. So before preparing my coffee, I also have to check if my cat needs to eat uh, his breakfast. And then I also have to check if he needs to pee or he needs to go out. So I usually attend to his needs first before I prepare my coffee. And then after I prepare my coffee, I usually try to do a light breakfast. So like bread, some biscuits, before I actually start working around 9 in the morning. With 9 in the morning, I start opening up my emails, opening up my work documents. And I usually work until 11:55, 11:45, depending if I still have meetings in between. And then by 12 noon, I usually start my lunch. So I really put value with lunch, taking lunch. So I usually take this time to breathe and also recover from the morning rush. And after that, I also do some chores in the house before I go back to work around 1:30. So if I still have time before 1:30, I usually take a nap to rest my eyes. I really value resting before resuming work. I also prepare some light um, candies or chocolates, so I have more energy in the afternoon. And then I start working again. I have meetings. I have documents to prepare or some deep work to do. And then by around 4 in the afternoon, I usually feel hungry. So I start preparing also snacks. So usually I limit my coffee during the morning, but if I really cannot resist coffee, I also do coffee in the afternoon or some juice or some water. And then I stop working around 5:30, but I usually have difficulty stopping from working because I feel like it's difficult now in the pandemic to divide the work and your life because you're working inside your house. So you don't know when to stop. But then during the night, I usually do Netflix and chill just to keep my mind off from work, and then try to do some reading if I still have time, or and then eat dinner. Yeah, to eat dinner and then sleep around 11, 12, depending on the schedule the next day. Yeah,
And amongst all of these activities, which ones are so difficult to do, or do you have any pain points?
difficult to stop working, difficult to put rest because sometimes you lost track of time in this pandemic. You don't know when you stop working and when you start to become a
True.
person in your house. Yeah,
We only have 3 seconds
one
left.
minute,
So
one
thank you,
second.
Luigi. I
Thank
got
you,
so much
Ola.
from that. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, and thank you, Luigi and Ola. We hope our co-change makers in the Zoom room and also those in Facebook were able to take down notes as well as Luigi shared his typical day and also his challenges during this current work from home setup in the pandemic. Yeah, and so let's see. Let me stop this there. Next slide. Our goal a while ago was to really to get to know our partner. And if you notice, these are some of the questions that Ola asked Luigi. So can we ask our co-change makers, if you were in Ola's position, what other questions would you like to ask Luigi? Yan. So please share it in the comments or in the chat. Ano pang gusto nyo kayang itanong to get to know our partner Luigi better? Yan. Let's see. What other questions can we ask so that we can get to know, learn about Luigi's needs and values. Yan, sige. Let's see. We can also write these questions pala in our Padlet board as well. Yan. So let's see. From the chat, other questions, what are your passions? What are your most interesting part of your usual day? Okay, interesting. How about you, Ola? Are there other questions you'd like to ask based here from our ideas in the chat?
I like the positive question because I asked something negative. So
Mm,
I'd like to ask, what's the most interesting part of your day, or what are your hobbies,
mhm.
interests, and passions? So
Right.
more on positive reinforcement.
Okay. So we can have different questions and different interview tools to get to know the person. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. Please keep on sharing your questions either in the chat or also in our Padlet board. Yeah, and so let's proceed to the next step. Now that we had the interview and a bit of getting to know Luigi, it's time for us to write a design challenge statement. This is what we call a DCS, or a design challenge statement. And for this intro, we'd like to share with you a formula. Yeah, and this formula goes like this. My partner, or Luigi, needs a way to blank, and then we prefer it to be a verb. So this is our formula for a design challenge statement. Now we might ask, what is a design challenge ba, and how do we know if it's a good design challenge statement? So we have two tips and guide for everyone. The first one is, a good design challenge statement tells us what the other person or a community values, what they value. And another thing is, it's open. It does not propose a specific solution yet. Yun. As change makers, this is very important because this is what we also call problem framing. And as change makers, the way we frame a problem can influence and have an effect on the type of solutions and ideas that we will also have. So this is our invitation for us to write a good design challenge statement. Let's have an example. Let's interview Ola. Ola, based on your interview with Luigi, can you give us one design challenge statement?
Mm, I came up with, my partner needs a way to rest from work.
My partner needs a way to rest from work. Sige, tingnan natin there. So we have two examples from everyone. The first one, this is what Ola mentioned. Luigi needs a way or to rest from work. So tingnan natin yung two questions natin. Does it tell us what Luigi values? So based from this, what do you think Luigi values? You can share it in the chat. Ola, ikaw, what do you think Luigi values?
I really think that Luigi values his well-being. So he said that rest is important for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks. Our co-change makers are also sharing in the chat. Basahin natin. Luigi also values time and rest time. Nice. So this design challenge statement tells us what Luigi values. So tingnan naman natin. Let's take a look at the second one. Luigi needs to watch Netflix after work. What can you notice about this design challenge statement? Does it tell us its values? And the second one, does it tell us a specific solution? Let's see here in the chat. Yeah. If we can notice, the second one is very specific already. Yes, as Christian mentioned. And with this kind of design challenge statement and problem framing, it might limit our ideas because it's already containing a preferred or a specific idea to watch Netflix after work. So this is our invitation for you as change makers to create a design challenge statement that highlights the values, and it's open to many ideas and innovations and opportunities. So let's see. At this point, we'll invite everyone to actually make design challenge statements for Luigi. So based on our interview, what we've learned from Luigi's interview, his sharing, and also their exchanges with Ola, let's try to create a design challenge statement for Luigi. Yeah. So we'll give you time, 2 minutes. You can share your design challenge statement in our chat or also in the comments or in the Padlet board. Yeah. Sige, I'll start the time. 2 minutes to think and share a design challenge statement for Luigi. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. When you're ready, you can share it in the chat. We can see here that given the situation, there are different ways of framing a problem. So tingnan natin, marami tayong makikitang design challenge statements from more than 100 change makers. So let's see the different problem framing that we can have from this exercise. If you're ready to share your design challenge statement, you can chat it in the Zoom chat or also add it in our Padlet board. Yeah.
I'm excited to see a variety of design challenge statements. Like, how
Mm-hmm.
would it be different from Ola's design challenge statement?
Mm-hmm. Agree. Yeah. So the different perspectives of our change makers will see them in this activity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me read some of our chat here. We have some DCS already, or design challenge statements from Win. Luigi needs to know the boundaries between work and personal life. Yan. So lumalabas yung values, the having boundaries between work and personal life. Nice. Thank you, Win, for sharing. For our other change makers, feel free to share. Our timer is still going. For those in the Facebook Live, we invite you also to share your design challenge statements. Yeah. Luigi needs way to do a body treatment. Let's see. Yeah. So for Tika, it is also for reflection for us. What do you think Luigi values? What value is highlighted in that design challenge statement? Okay, time's up. Yeah, and so we can have continue this in your own time. Think of more design challenge statements for Luigi. Yan, sige. Let's go to the next. After having a design challenge statement, we're now ready to think of ideas. So we invite Ola to sketch 6 ideas. And so we're going for quantity over quality. Bukas lang tayo. Let's not censor our ideas or filter our ideas yet. We also invite everyone to join us. Get your piece of paper and sketch 6 ideas for Luigi on designing, on creating a good day for him in the pandemic. So 6 minutes. I'll start the timer and go. For those joining us on Facebook Live or those joining us just now, we are having this rush design workshop activity, and we're now in this part, sketching ideas, creating a or designing a good day for Luigi in the pandemic. Yeah.
I think it's also important for our change makers to understand that we have to get our inspiration for our ideas from our design challenge statements. So if you have decided on your design challenge statement, use this as your inspiration to sketch 6 ideas.
Yes. Thanks, Luigi. And so that's why our design challenge statement is very important. So it actually influences the type of ideas that we can have. So based on your chosen DCS or design challenge statement, we are inviting you to sketch 6 ideas for that. So let's see si Ola. Right now, Ola is sketching ideas for the design challenge statement that Luigi needs a way to rest from work. Yon. That was her chosen design challenge statement. Okay, let's see. We have 4 more minutes. Yes. Rough ideas will be enough right now. So this is also the beauty of this Rush Designs Challenge workshop. Good enough, just good enough. We're not aiming perfect. Yon. So let's not make the perfect the enemy of the good, especially as change makers. Yeah. If we also invite you actually, if you can share your sketches, if we can be able to share sketches either by taking a photo and sharing it in the chat or in the comment section for those in Facebook. And also we can upload it in Padlet. That would be great so that we can see the different sketches of our change makers. Yeah. Let's see. We have very different design challenge statement, very diverse. Let's see the ideas that we will be able to collect. So right now in our Zoom room, we have 100, yes, saktong 100 of change makers here, and also those who are joining us on Facebook Live, and also those who will be joining us even after this live. We also encourage you to engage in this activity. Let's sketch ideas, design a good day for Luigi in the pandemic. Mhm. Yan. So for those engaging in the chat, let's try to see. These are beautiful design challenge statements. So tingnan natin think of 6 ideas already that can show these. Yan. Have time to relax after work. Ano kayong different ways to do this? Yeah. Ooh, actually, these are specific ideas already. Thank you. There. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Aishel, for also sharing. You can also share your ideas in chat, tama. So another way of doing this is by sharing it here in the chat. You can also share it in our Happy Live Padlet board there. We have 2 more minutes. Sketch your ideas. Mm-hmm. So meron din tayong question din sa Curiosities Corner. Where can we get more ideas and inspiration for this? Luigi mentioned something already a while ago. The design challenge statement is something that can inform our ideas. And also our first one, the interview or getting to know Luigi based on the interview, that can also inform our ideas for Luigi. There. Said is very observant. He also noted that Luigi has a cat there. And yes, so one of his ideas pertains to the cat there. Listening very well, listening attentively there. Thank you for sharing. Luigi, we have a lot of suggestions and ideas actually here in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really glad to see the suggestions of our change makers. Some of them even suggested that I should have socialization time with my brother Mario since I'm
Mm.
Luigi.
Mm.
You see that?
There.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yes. Let us know kung kamusta. And our volunteer designers actually done. Sige. Thanks, Ola. Let us know also in the chat if you're done sketching your idea. So I'll pause timer. Thank you. Sige. Louis, Ola, let me know you're able to. Okay, you're done with your sketch
Yeah,
also.
she's done.
Sige.
Yeah.
All right, sige. Thank you. So we have our 6 sketches already. What's next? Yeah. Our next activity is to show our sketches to our partner. So we'll be inviting Ola to share her sketch, her DCS also, to Luigi to get feedback. And the important part for this point is to be open to feedback. Don't defend or sell a specific idea. Ask questions to get to know Luigi better. What works? What ideas did he like? What can be improved? So Ola, go.
Hello, can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Should I stop sharing so we can see your screen?
I think so.
I
Chess has
think
to
Okay, I'll
stop
stop share
sharing.
muna.
so. Yes.
There, game.
There, we can
We
see
see
it.
your screen.
Can you see my screen? I'm so sorry. I hope you understand. So I have 6 ideas. The first one is a cat o'clock. So it's a clock, and then each number, instead of having a number, you have an image. So if it's 12, it's eating time. If it's 3 p.m., it's drinking time. If it's 6 p.m., it's nap time. I mean, it's not your nap time, but let's just say 6 p.m. is your nap time, and then 9 p.m. is your Netflix and chill time. So it kind of has a visual cue for every hour. The second one is an eye mask and headphones, because I think you mentioned that you needed to rest your eyes. So it's just an eye mask that you can put on for maybe 5 to 10 minutes in between your work. The third is a diffuser, but has a timer. So for example, at 2 p.m., the diffuser will activate, and then you will start smelling your essential oils. I also have a cat feeder, which will automatically feed your cat. So you don't have to stand up and make an effort. Instead of feeding your cat, you can just rest and listen to music. And I also have a Luigi feeder. So it's also time. So at 3 p.m., you will dispense your snacks automatically to remind you to nourish yourself. And then the last one is that it's a timed screensaver. So you can set it to like 4 p.m. By 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. It will show you a photo of a beach or a mountain. So it triggers you to start wrapping up your work. So those are my ideas.
Thanks,
Thank you
Ola, for
for
sharing. Luigi, how
thank you,
about
Ola.
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, initially I like that there's a lot of ideas, especially taking my current context that I am having difficulty managing my time and work. So I like that. I also like that there are specific prototypes and objects that Ola has here in her sketches. I also like the cat o'clock because for me that is somehow the merging of all my concerns. Time to eat, time to play with my cat, time to rest, time to chill. So I mean, it integrates all my concerns into one object. I also like the diffuser because it somehow it gives me a relaxing vibe. I wish could be a in terms of the feeders and Luigi feeder and cat feeder, it could be like it could be merged into one prototype or one object. So while I'm having my snacks, my cat is also reminded to have his snacks. So that would be very nice. And what if there would be something about socializing with others? Because as I noticed that this is more focused with on my cat, on myself. So what if there could be ideas that could help me socialize with others as well? So that's it for me, for my initial thoughts.
All right. Thank you, Luigi and Ola. Also, time's up. Thank you so much for giving your thoughts and feedback. Sige. I will, Ola, I'll start sharing again. Okay, sige. All right. So at that point, we already checked in with Luigi, shared the initial sketches. So what's next for us? Sige, tingnan natin. What's next for us now is to combine our ideas based on Luigi's feedback as well. So Ola right now will be coming up with one grand idea for Luigi, putting the best facets of her ideas, integrating Luigi's feedback as well. And Luigi, if you notice, gave very specific feedback, which will help Ola. Yan. So let's see. Those joining us in the Zoom room and Facebook Live, we can also come up with grand idea based on Luigi's feedback that we also heard. So what can we do with our ideas as well? We can make revisions, combine them together, and come up with one. So from 6, we will now narrow it down to one idea that we want to try. So 2 minutes to do this together. When you're ready, you can share it in the chat or share a photo if you're sketching. There, let's see. Luigi, are you excited to hear many the grand idea of Ola and also her change makers?
Yeah, I'm
Let's see.
excited to see what will be their final grand idea, their final prototype for this
Mhm,
design challenge statement on how I need a way to relax from work. Yeah,
mhm. Different
exciting.
ideas. Okay. Let us know also if you'll be able to actually try specific ideas
Yeah, I
after
would love
this.
to. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
love to try some of these ideas. Yeah, let's see. Let's wait
sige,
for our
let us
change
know.
makers.
I'm also checking our Padlet board and I am seeing questions also and ideas they're actually sharing there as well. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I'm also excited to see Ola's grand idea, given that her
Mm-hmm.
6 ideas are already like very good. So I'm wondering what
Yes.
should come up with their 6 ideas.
Let us know also, Ola, by via chat or you can unmute yourself. Let us know if you're done with your grand idea. We have a minute and 23 seconds more there. We hope that when the pandemic is over, we can do this again face to face. If you can imagine, this is usually done in a face to face workshop, and all the ideas that we're hearing from each other, you'll be paired together doing this exercise. We have so many ideas, and you can really feel the energy in the room. And even if now we're in the online space, we'd like to say thank you for your sharing your ideas here in the chat. So our chat right now has so many ideas and also our Padlet board. Yeah, we have a minute more. Okay. And let's see what will
That
be our grand idea for Luigi. Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
35 seconds.
Ola's design challenge statement of Luigi needs a way to rest from work. Mhm.
10 seconds.
Countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Okay, 1.
There.
Yes, can we call back Ola? Ola, I'll stop share. You'll be showing your idea.
Okay.
Sige, stop share.
Yes.
Game.
Can you see it?
Yes.
We can see.
So I decided to combine some things in here. It's still the cat o'clock, but the elements are movable. So you can also add stickers. So if you want to add like a sticker about socialization, just to remind you to talk to your friends or spend time with your family, you can put it there and then you can move it around. So it could be buttons that you just stick like metal buttons. So it's more flexible. And then I integrated the snacks. So when it goes to the cheese, then the snacks will come out. So then Luigi and the cat can enjoy. So you can have the cat snacks and the Luigi snacks. And if I also integrated the aromatherapy part of it. So if it goes to like say the sleeping sign, then it will start giving off your aromatherapy. So it's like a device. It's like a all-in-one self-care scheduling device. It will remind you to rest and take care of yourself. And it's also digital, so you can connect it to your phone. There could be an app, so when it goes to your family or to your friends, it will remind you to send a message or to call someone. So yes, that's it. That's my idea. What do you think, Luigi?
Very nice. Thank you very much. I really like this cat o'clock idea that is customizable. I mean, I can put new activities. I can customize the activities depending on the month, depending on my mood, depending on what I need. So I guess if this would be a product, I would definitely use it for my relaxation from work. Thank you very much, Ola.
Thank
There.
you.
Thank you so much, Ola and Luigi. Can we invite everyone to actually give a warm round of applause to our volunteer pair? Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us, and also everyone participating in the Zoom and the Facebook Live doing this Rush Design Challenge workshop with us. So I'll resume sharing screen there. So palakpakan po natin ang ating mga sarili and our volunteers there. Yeah. So congratulations to everyone. We just experienced some aspects of design thinking. Yun. So our Rush Design Challenge already showed us some of the aspects of design thinking. So we'll process it now as our introduction to design thinking. So what is design thinking? As mentioned, this workshop is focused on design thinking as a creative way for problem solving. Yeah, and so this is our intention and focus for this workshop. So if some of you in the questions were asking about using design thinking for teaching, we have different workshops for that. So please stay tuned. Watch our Facebook page for more opportunities on design thinking for teaching as a teaching strategy. But for today in our Happy Life, we're focusing on design thinking as a way for problem solving. Yeah, so this is for you, Changemakers, joining us and preparation for the International Youth Day. Yeah. So ano ba yung design thinking? Usually, when we have a problem, our usual approach is to go straight to the solution. There. And for example, kanina, design a good day. We made a solution already for Luigi. And that process has a lot of assumptions already. Our personal assumptions as individuals are already at play. And as designers, this is our invitation for everyone na yung part ng assumptions, will try to test them and see if they're correct or what can we know better about our communities or the people that we're designing our ideas for. So this is what design thinking invites us to practice: having empathy, having more ideas, prototyping, and always keeping our users or our community at the center of the process. So design thinking it's a structured but somehow messy approach to finding and solving problems. We'll see bakit siya messy. Yan. So if you have questions, please write it on our Padlet board and our chat. So that's what we experienced in our DT Rush or Design Thinking Rush Challenge. If you remember, we started with getting to know Luigi, his profile, and interviewing them. And then we sketched 6 ideas for Luigi based on the design challenge statement. And then we created the prototype, showing the ideas to Luigi and soliciting his feedback. And all throughout this, we were always centered on Luigi, which is our target user. Yeah, and so asking his feedback and involving him in every step of the way until we're able to come up with a specific solution. The cat o'clock designed by Ola a while ago. So this is our invitation for all our change makers to use this as a mindset when we design innovations for our target communities and advocacies. Yeah, and so kanina this was already mentioned that we are all change makers, and this is also our invitation for everyone to think that we can all be designers of innovations for our communities. We are all designers. Yan. So in Habi, when we talk about design, we see this as the formula. When we have a clear intention and it's actionable, that's design. So having clear intention and a specific action equals design. Yan. Other than a structured way, design thinking is also a mindset that we can use in understanding our everyday problems and challenges. Yeah, and so as change makers, we can use this in understanding the context of our community so that we can design better innovations for them. DT or design thinking is also approach that we can use for problem solving. Yeah, and that we hope that we can use to address real world problems. Later we'll be sharing with you some examples of this. Yeah. And finally, DT is also a specific framework that can guide us in designing innovation for social change. So this is our hope for you. As mentioned a while ago, this is a pre-event workshop in preparation for International Youth Day. And we hope this DT workshop will help you as you go to your co-creation lab during International Youth Day. There. Yan. And this is also something for all of us here that design thinking is something it's not new. Maybe some of us are already practicing it, some aspects of it. And if we do a quick search online, there are different steps and ways of doing design thinking. Yan. So may mga 8 steps, may 5 steps, may 3 steps. Yan. And we'd like to share with you this afternoon a localized version to the Filipino culture. So we have 4 steps in this process and we'll share it with everyone. This is what we call the Habi Design Thinking mindsets. We start with H, himayin ng konteksto. We go to A, ambagan ng ideas. We go to B, bumuo ng prototype. And I, ipakita at suriin. There. And we can see na meron siyang par process, but in actuality, it can go different ways. So pwedeng we already started with understanding the context or himayin, and then we build a prototype, and then we go back to ambagan ng idea. So the process can be messy, lots of iterations until we get a more refined idea and solution for our challenge. Yan. So this is the 4 steps that we did a while ago, if we can recall. Himayin, understanding the context, empathizing with our stakeholders, and then A, ambagan. We collaborate to have more ideas. As we know now, the challenges that we're facing cannot be solved by a single person or a single organization. We really have the need to have community effort to collaborate to solve our systemic challenges. Yeah, so ambagan. And then B, building a prototype, a low fidelity version of our solutions or ideas. And very important is that we show the prototype to our target users and community and ask for their feedback. So this is our process, HABI. Let's have it. There. Yan. So let us know, sakto tayong magfa 5 o'clock. So that's our brief intro to design thinking. If you have any questions, please let us know in the chat or in our Padlet board. We'll do our best to respond to them. Yan. So thank you, everyone. Passing the mic to Luigi.
Thank you very much, Chess. So Chess already introduced to us the HABA process. So but now we'll be pausing for a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing further these mindsets, and we will be sharing some tips and tools which you could use in applying DT for change making and in applying for your problem solving strategies and coming up with your project proposals in this upcoming International Youth Day. So it's 5 in the afternoon. It will see you at 5:05, and then we'll resume with our discussion. Thank you very much. Please take a break. Stand up, go to the toilet, drink some water, and we'll see you at 5:05. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a short break. You stand up, drink some water, went to the toilet. So welcome back to our plenary invitation for everyone to come back in our Zoom room meeting. Would like to ask everyone if you're back, please type back or here in our Zoom chat so we would know if you're already back here in our Zoom meeting room. Also, with our participants in Facebook, we'd like to hear from you if you're back in our Facebook Live so you would know. Let me just prepare my slides. So we see here our participants typing back. Thank you very much. So let me just share my screen again. There. Oops, see. So Chess was able to introduce to us the hobby mindset, or what we call the design thinking mindset that we usually use in our working hobby education lab. So as a recap, so we have Himayin, which is the part where we understand the context, we empathize with our stakeholders, and the next is A for Ambagan, wherein we collaborate, we ideate, we pull our ideas together with our team. And then letter B is Bumuo, wherein we build a prototype, we look for possible sketches of our solutions or products. And then the last would be ipakita, or to show the prototype and gather feedback of our initial prototype for our sketches. So we would like to ask via Zoom chat na lang siguro, we would like to ask our participants a check-up question. Which of these H, A, B, or I are you excited to try in your own context? Now, after this workshop, which of the HABI mindset are you excited to try on your own in your organization? So let's see. Ano, just a type H, A, B, or I, or all if you want to try all. I saw that there's somebody typed all. Ambagan, bumuo, there. B, I, all. I see that some of us are excited to try everything, the HABI mindset. So good to know that you're all excited to see how you can apply this in your own context. As change makers, as creative solution makers, we are trying to understand how we can use design thinking, the HABI mindset, to prototype solutions for problems in our community, problems in our schools, problems in our organization, and come up with a solution that empathizes with our stakeholders, empathizes with our peers. After all, we are all change makers. So now, we continue in the second half of our workshop. We're in after introducing the rush design activity and in the processing of chess of what happened in the rush design, now we are going forward to something tangible, something you could use in your own context. And you might be wondering, how can I do Himayin? How can I do Ambagan? How I can do Bumuo? How I can do Ipakita in my organization? So later on, we will be sharing some tips, some tricks, and some tools that you could use in your own organization. But before that, let's listen to some stories of how we usually use this design thinking mindsets, the HABI, in our work and in our personal life. So let's listen to two stories. So first, let's start off with Lacey, who will be sharing how we use hobby mindset in our work. Lacey?
Yes, thank you, Luigi. Actually, itong i-share ko, di ba? Nasa 1 year and more than a year na tayo of online learning, of facing people via online. Tapos, ang isa sa challenge na nakita natin actually as an organization is how might we help teachers and professionals stay connected during remote meetings and work. How can we make it more delightful? So, isa sa naisip natin ay gumawa ng check-in playbook. Pero hindi yun agad-agad na, okay, ito na, print na natin. So, nag-undergo din tayo ng DT process. So, hinimay muna ano ba yung mga ma-add na value kapag merong check-in. Di ba kanina nag-check-in tayo? So, it's to feel the room kahit malayo tayo, parang feel natin na andyan pa rin, andyan sa harap lang natin, kausap natin. And then we did some research, initial sketches. Ayan, may ambagan from the team. May unang set of material. Tapos from the larger team, nagbigay ng feedback. Actually, inopen din namin sa mga hobby community kung anong pwede nilang maambag dun sa book. So, ayun, final product nito, it will come out this year. So, yan, isa yan sa example na we also use the mindset of design thinking in creating curriculum or products and things like that. Thank you, Luigi. Ngayon naman, alam kong meron ding, hindi lang sa professional work ang DT, pwede rin ina-apply natin sa buhay natin. Hindi lang natin alam o hindi natin pinapangalanan na DT yon. So, let me call on Chess to share her story.
Yes, thanks, Lay. So this one, I used design thinking as a mindset in helping prepare my family for another round of enhanced community quarantine. So yun, because we understand as a family really value each other's safety. So what we did, I actually asked a lot of questions. So yung himay natin kanina, in our family chat, I just asked a lot of questions to check kung what are priorities, how do you feel about the upcoming ECQ again, what will be our priorities, what are we going to focus on as a family. So those type of questions so that we can also collaborate as a family in having one idea or a strategy so that we can make sure that we're all safe during this pandemic pa rin. Yun. Back to you, Luigi.
Thank you very much, Chess and Lacey, for sharing how we can apply the design thinking mindset, not just in work, but also in life. So that's the beauty of design thinking. It's a mindset that we could use in a variety of contexts, variety of situations. And this is just one of the few examples that we have out there. And in Happy Education Lab, aside from using these mindsets and thinking about how we can apply the HABI in our work and in our life, we also have different tools that we could use. So you might notice that I have here some cards. Here, some cards. So these are the mga hobby cards that we usually use whenever we do some DT exercises and DT brainstorming, or whenever we apply DT in our work, in our personal lives. So this is an example of a tool that we feature in Hobby Education Lab, the mga hobby cards. And in the upcoming minutes, we'll be sharing some of our favorite. So we have here some of our favorite mga hobby tools that we would like to suggest to our young change maker. These tools you can use for brainstorming, these tools that you could use for feedbacking sessions whenever you design projects, whenever you design activities for your stakeholders. So let's start. So joining with me is Chess, who will be sharing our favorite mga hobby cards in this next few minutes. So the first, so again, just a recap, we have the hobby, HABI, and each of these H, A, B, and I, we have a set of cards that you could use, or activities or tools that you could use in implementing the himayin, the ambagan, the bumuo at ipakita. And in the next slides, we'll be sharing one or two tools in each of the mindsets that we have here. So let's start off with, so here, just a quick introduction about this mga hobby cards. So you could also download a digital copy of this through the link that Lacey will be posting in our chat. And then you could also check the printed copies. So we have our Happy Live Learning Kits. So if you purchase your Happy Live Learning Kits, you will have a copy of these mga hobby cards that you could use during your brainstorming session, that you could pass on with your peers, that you could use for collaboration. So now let's start off with letter H. So what is our tool for letter H? For Himayin. So I will be sharing here my favorite the Himayin tool, which is RTB here. So you would see, yes, there's a live showing of my favorite card. So it's what we call roses, rose, thorn, and bud. So RTB, as we call it, is a tool that we usually use whenever we do an assessment. So here, an example of our Hobby project. In Hobby, we have the Hobby Plus channel, wherein we try to design learning experience design course. And in designing the course, we use the RTB activity, the roses, thorns, and buds activity, to understand what is working, what is not working, and what can be improved in our learning course. So this is just an example of this Himayin card, wherein you could use this to start discussion. So roses are the things that are good, things that are working. Thorns are the causes and consequences that might be addressed or that can hinder your project implementation. And buds are wishes or opportunities for solutions that you could use with your team to start discussion. So how could you use this roses third in bud? So whenever you do assessment of your stakeholder, whenever you design an activity for your barangay, if you're an SK chairperson, so usually we could use roses third in bud to assess what is working in our community, what is not working in our community, what are the causes or the consequences that are not working effectively for the youth sector. And then you could use the bods to assess what could be an alternative to these thorns. So you could design a better um, projects and programs that are grounded and empathizing with your stakeholders. So this is one of the tools, the roses, turn, and bod. So Chess, what is our next tool?
Thanks, Luigi. After himayin or understanding the context, we go to A or ambaga ng ideas. And this is one of our favorite activities also, what we call bukas, daloy, sarado, or in English, open, close. I open. Next slide. Yes,
Explore.
there.
Yes, Ollie.
Yes, open,
There.
explore, and close there. So if you can notice a while ago, this is the phase when we do ambagan, we work with other people and we collaborate. And sometimes the challenge is how do we get the ideas from everyone without judgment, getting the best ideas from everyone. So this is one way that we can facilitate that with open, explore, close, or bukas, daloy, sarado. So how does it go? The first part is just open exploration, brainstorming of ideas. We don't filter, we don't censor, we welcome all ideas. So that's open. And then we go to explore or daloy where we ask questions. So we clarify na, we check for the ideas, we can ask questions, we can combine some ideas, we can cluster them together. So that's the exploration phase. So mas nagiging focus na siya. And then we go to close or sarado where we make decisions as a team or as change makers. What do we want to prioritize based on our values? Ano yung, which one can we focus on? Because we know as change makers, we also have to manage our resources. Yun. So what can we focus on? So that's the part na sarado. So that's a process that we use for ambagan, open, explore, close, or bukas, daloy, sarado. Yes, what's next, Luigi?
Our next tool would be under bumuo, wherein now we are trying to explore prototyping. So kanina in our the rush design, we did sketching, wherein you sketch 6 ideas. So this is one of the example of the prototype types. So here we are trying to design or think of our initial ideas that coming from our Himayin and Ambagan phase. We're trying to use all these ideas to come up with a prototype. And here, our tool is the sketching exercises. So with sketching exercises, you could start off by thinking of what is the probable idea that you could get from the interview, from the Himay and the Ambagan stage. So here you could use anything, any paper that you have for this exercise. You could also now use digital tools like Jamboard, Padlet, or Mural by sketching your ideas. So you saw Ola during the Rush Design Workshop. She has a sketchbook, the digital sketchbook, and she used it to sketch her initial ideas, 6 grand ideas. So you could use this whenever you are brainstorming with your potential projects. So in your organization, you ask everyone to sketch their ideas, and then this will be a good exercise for you to create sa bumuo, building prototypes. So sketching exercises. Chess, what's the next tool?
For our next tool, we go to I, which is ipakita or showing and then getting feedback from our users. So in Happy, we also have this exercise we call a strength shower, where we highlight the strengths or the strengths and positive activities that our teammates were able to do for the past month. So we share what we like and we make it very specific so that the feedback can help our teammates to also grow. Yun. So this is an example of our last month's strength shower. And a while ago in our design thinking rush challenge, we also use an activity called I like, I wish, what if. If you noticed, when Luigi gave feedback a while ago, he already used the I like, I wish, what if. And this is one way for us to facilitate giving feedback. Sometimes it's hard for us to give feedback. Eh? So having this kind of support or structure can help us get specific feedback, highlighting what they like about the product or the solution or the idea, and then exploring other suggestions or I wish. Yun. And also other ideas already, asking that question of what if. What if can be a powerful question for us to create more possibilities and ideas. So this is one of our tools for getting feedback from each other. I like, I wish, and what if.
Yes, thank you very much, Chess. So these are just some of the DT tools that you could use whenever you use the design thinking mindsets, the HABI. So again, let's do a recap. So for Himayen, we have the roses, turns, and bud. For A, we have bukas, dalay, sarado. And then for B, we have sketching exercises. And for I, we have strength shower. And I like, I wish, what if. So just to check our participants, our young change makers, could you please type in the chat which of these tools are you excited to try in your activities in the future or in your um, change making session this coming August 12th? So let's see. Again, we have someone who answered all, all of the tools, and then some Ron answered RTB. Yeah, that's very nice. Chess, her favorite is bukas, dalay, sarado there. So thank you very much for your answers. And what we hope in this activity is that you will be exposed to some of these tools. These are just some of the many tools that we have in our mga hobby cards. So here. So if you want to know more about these tools, about these activities, you could also check the links that Lacey has posted in our Zoom chat, in our Facebook live as well. These are downloadable worksheets that you could use. We have I like, I wish, what if, we have the roses turn and bud. We have the bukas dalay sarado instructions. And if you also purchase your mga hobby cards, you have your handy dandy mga hobby card that you could use anywhere you go. Every time you do hambagan, every time you do himayin, every time you do bumuo, and every time you do feedbacking session. So it's a must-have for design thinkers, the young change makers. So let's see there. So Lacey has also linked our Hobby Shop link, another channel of Hobby Education Lab. Wherein you could check out our items that you could use for your design thinking activities. There. So again, thank you very much. So you can also download the light version of Mga Hobby, a digital version. So Lacey also posted the link there, so you could download it, and you would see some like a teaser version of this Mga Hobby cards, wherein you can see some of the other DT tools that you could use in your brainstorming sessions, in your prototyping sessions with your organizations. All right. So now we also acknowledge that you have posted your questions in our Padlet board. And then given that we are pressed with time and we're down in our last few minutes of our Hobby Lab workshop, rest assured that we will be replying to all your questions and queries in our Padlet board. So therefore, we're also inviting everyone, if you still have curiosities, if you still have suggestions or questions or clarifications, please put your questions in our Padlet board and we will answer and reply to all of your queries and questions. Thank you. So now let's proceed with our last few key statements for this Hobby Live workshop, Design Thinking for Change Makers. Again, this activity is an introduction for us of what is Hobby's design thinking mindset. So we have Himayin, Ambagan, Bumuo, at Ipakita. And what we are trying to understand is that how we can use and apply this DT mindset and then this DT mga hobby cards tool in problem solving real world challenges. And as change maker, we are in the forefront. We are the frontliners in crafting solutions, creative solutions for our real world problems right now. And last but not the least, we would like to make you feel motivated to try and use design thinking in solving real world problems. Try the HABI in your organization, try your HABI in your houses, in your homes to prototype solutions and ideas that could work depending on the context and depending on the situation of your users or your stakeholders. And here we would understand that design thinking is messy, as Chesa shared, messy, unstructured process that you could go back from H to B, from B to A, from A to I. So there's no perfect route. It depends on your context. It depends on your intention. And we would like to highlight that we are all designers, and we are not just designers, but we are also designer change makers. And this is very much powerful. And we could use our design thinking tools, design thinking mindsets to create change in our society. And as a reminder, we are not alone. We cannot propose solutions alone because we are a group of designers. We are a community of designers, community of designer change makers. And design thinking is a mindset. Again and again, we are trying to reiterate that it's a mindset that we could use in our everyday problems and challenges. So you could do himay, you could do ambagan, you could do bumuo at ipakita in understanding our problems and challenges. Second, it is an approach. By using your mga hobby cards, by using your DT mindsets and DT tools, we can try to address different real world problems. Problems of COVID quarantine, problems of unemployment among the youth sector, problems of unequal access to internet connectivity. We could use design thinking as an approach to try and prototype solutions with these real world problems. And last but not the least, design thinking is a framework which we can use to guide in designing innovation for social change. After all, we are designer change makers. And as a last challenge, last remarks to all of us here, 100 of us here in our Zoom and some of us joining in Facebook, tara na, let's use design thinking for change making. With that, thank you very much everyone for your time and your participation in our Hobby Live workshop, DT for change making. So just some few reminders. We would love to hear from you. Kindly go to this feedback form. And then all of those who answer the feedback form, we will be sending you a post workshop email wherein you could get your e-certificates of participation. And so please answer your feedback, our feedback form, so we can improve our processes. We can improve our workshop experience. And again, just to recap, Hobby Lab is just one of the channels of Hobby Education Lab. We also have Hobby Shop where you could purchase your mga hobby cards. We have Hobby Plus. So here, Hobby Live is the online synchronous workshops. Hobby Shop is the where you can buy mga hobby cards, Alex blocks, and other learning tools for learning experiences. And then we also have Hobby Plus, a self-paced learning course for Kids Society, wherein we offer and host different courses related to education, design thinking, and learning experience design. And we also have our podcast, Happy Hour, which is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor, wherein you can listen with different stories from different LXDs, educators, collaborators, and storytellers across the country. So with that, maraming salamat sa inyong participation. Daghang salamat. Thank you very much everyone for your time and participation. And we wish we had more time to discuss more of our favorite tools, but we're limited with 1.5 hours. So we hope that this is the start of our collaboration and we can continue working and using design thinking in variety of contexts in the future. And also for those who are interested to know how to use DT in education, so please watch out our other hobby learning experiences that would help you understand how to use DT in education. But for now, we are focusing on our role, our mission to become designer change makers. So as a way to end, again, our workshop, we had a check-in during the beginning. Now we end with a checkout. So for our checkout, this is our checkout prompt, and please put your answers in the Zoom chat box. So complete the phrase, I used to think blank, now I think blank. I used to think blank, now I think blank. So please type into your Zoom chat your answers to this checkout prompt. And maybe I could ask our LXD chess. Do you have an answer to our checkout prompt? You used to think blank, now you think blank. What's your answer, chess?
I'm thinking. I used to think. I used to think that I can answer right away. But now I think actually it's important for us to get to know and empathize with our users before we go to a solution.
Thank you very much, Jess. For me, I used to think that with the Rush Design Workshop, and then all our changemaker designed a prototype for me, some examples. I used to think that there are limited choices, but now I think there are limitless, infinite choices available for us, designer change makers. So let's see. Some of our change makers are answering in the chat. Christian Ronel, Austria. I used to think for myself only. Now I think to collaborate. That's very beautiful. We are very much happy to see Christian. Star, I used to think I am not capable of making change. Now I think I am more than capable of doing such. Star, thank you very much for that wonderful checkout. Alex, I used to think change. Now I think it starts. Wow, very powerful checkout prompt. So thank you very much, everyone. Keep your checkouts coming. We'll be reading them. We'll be archiving all of your checkouts, and we'll be using this as an inspiration to motivate us in our design thinking for change makers. So with that, maraming salamat. and we would like to end our Facebook Live. So we could take our Zoom selfie together with our participants in the Zoom. So maraming salamat po sa mga kasama namin sa Facebook. Makita-kita po tayo sa iba pang Hobby Live workshops in the future. And for those who are in the Zoom, please stay if you want to get to join our Zoom selfie. So with that, maraming salamat po at tara na. Dito tayo.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Luigi. Yeah, we would like just to recognize you. Arthur, are you there? Just to present a simple virtual award for Hobby Education Lab for joining
Oh,
us in
okay.
sharing about design thinking for Changemaker. It really enlightened us so much. Arthur, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
This award, the certificate.
Thank you,
All
Van.
right.
And
Well, thank you so much, Van. Thank you so much from JCI Davao Golf on behalf of our charter president, Mayor Jason John Joyce. We're extending our gratitude to Happy Education Lab. Luigi and Chess, thank you very much for giving us your time. So we'd like to present to you this certificate of appreciation to Happy Education Lab for sharing your time and expertise during the design thinking for change makers um, during the Youth for the Goal Summit. Awarded this 10th of August 2021, signed Attorney Jason John Joyce, Charter President JCI Davao Golf. So i-email na lang namin yung
yes,
certificate.
sir. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much once again. Sige, let's have a photo.
Yes. Our technologist Lace will be doing the photo, and then after the photo, we'd like to ask Van to promote their future activities. So, but first, let's take a photo. So let's
Yes.
Yeah.
see.
Yes.
Take a
Open
photo
your
first.
cameras, change makers. We would like to see
We
your
can turn on our
beautiful
cameras
faces.
po. Yes, nice to see everyone. We hope you're
Hello.
safe.
Yes. I will
Yeah,
just
it's nice.
remove hide what do you call it?
Yes, if you could turn
Spotlight.
on your camera, so we would see your beautiful young change maker
Ah.
designer faces. There, nice to see all of you.
So,
Hello.
hello po to our change
everyone.
makers.
Hold
Oh,
on.
there's a lot of us. It's almost 100 plus during the peak time, right? More than 100.
Yes.
Okay. Wait.
So let's wait for Lace. So Lace will say cheese and then we'll smile. So please refrain from chatting muna in the Zoom para hindi siya lalabas dun sa
The Luigi,
ano
may
natin.
mga chat pang iba eh. I will just close
Okay.
the
Yeah.
chat
So we'll answer your chat later. We'll just take our
and
Zoom selfie first.
remove the spotlight.
There. It's nice
Okay,
to see.
wait for my
Let's
cue.
wait for Lace. No pressure. So
Ah,
it's nice to see our beautiful young change maker smiling and waiting for our Zoom selfie.
yeah. I might need some because I can just see your face, Luigi.
All
Wait.
right. Yeah. Maybe I can do the screenshot.
And
Yes,
take
I
screenshot
can.
also.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do it. So let me just
Anytime.
full screen
Multiple.
Full
and
screen.
then
Yeah.
ready. Let me do the command shift thing. Okay, ready. First page. 1, 2, 3, smile. There. Second page. Wait a minute. I will be turning on the second page. There. Ready. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you. Second page. Now let's go to third page. Wag mo nang aalisin ang ngiti. Hindi mo alam kung nasang page ka. Ready?
I know.
1, 2, 3, smile. Last page. Wait lang, mamaya mo na ibaba ang ngiti. Baka nasa last page ka pala. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. There you go. Thank you very
Can,
much,
can I
everyone.
also request if we can have a photo with a high five?
Yeah. High five like this.
High
Yeah.
five
Okay.
reactions.
Right. Sure.
High five.
All right.
Let me just
1, 2, 3.
facilitate.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. If we're second, I'll go to second page.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on. Oops, sorry. Okay,
Hey.
How many people?
second
High
page.
five.
Okay, I'll go to third page.
Yeah, two more.
2 more. Yep.
Last.
Fourth page.
There, last.
How many?
4 pages, I think.
5 pages.
5 pages, okay.
The last na talaga.
Is it that? Are we good?
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keep safe, everyone.
See you soon. Yeah, if you haven't registered yet, feel free to
Yeah,
go